Welcome to the Sports Betting Preview Show, a pregame.com podcast. This is segment 4 of 4, Big Game Preview. We're going to take a look at Syracuse and Louisville. I'm Marco D'Angelo, joined by my man, Vegas Runner. And as we always do, this is being filmed on Thursday, so we don't have the actual line for the game, but you're going to give us what you feel is the true line for Saturday's game. I'll tell you what I think the actual line's going to be when Vegas brings it out, and we're going to handicap it from there. Vegas Runner, what do you think? Syracuse at Louisville?
I have my free pick for this game, so I'm actually hoping that the sports books bring the line out a little bit higher to try to balance the action. My true line makes Syracuse only a 3.5-point road favorite. I have to stretch to make them 4. And I set the total at 148.5, which is about the same total they had for last game. But I think they'll have to adjust that downwards because they only scored 126 points last game. But I don't think they'll adjust it too much on the total because when you look at how the teams are coming in, I mean, Syracuse is scoring 90 points 2 out of their last 3 games. So I don't think we'll see a big adjustment there. But again, I make Syracuse a 3.5, 4-point favorite according to my true line.
Well, I don't think it's going to come that high. I actually have Syracuse as a 1-point favorite here. And remember that Syracuse only has 2 losses on the season.
Yeah.
This is one of them.
Yeah.
Louisville went into the Carrier Dome, beat Syracuse. The only other team to do that was Pitt. And granted, where you could get this line a little bit higher is the fact that Louisville is coming off their worst game.
Yeah, but they got annihilated by Marquette.
69 to 48.
Embarrassing.
You know, that's the one thing that could get this line inflated. And if people buy into the revenge factor, which I think you will have, you know, the general public's going to say, Louisville's not going to beat Syracuse twice.
2 times, yeah.
You know, they're going to go with that mindset. So, hey, this is your free game. I'm going to let you tear the game apart. And
I really like Louisville in this spot. I'm playing at home. If you're giving me points, I'm going to grab them with this team. Again, I can't figure this team out. I don't even know, to be honest with you, if they deserve to be in the March Madness tournament because they go from looking great one week, like beating a team like Syracuse on the road, to then looking terrible against Marquette where they put up 48 points, you know, losing to Georgetown at home when they're favored. So, I mean, I just can't get a grip on this team, but I think because I watched that first meeting, it just happened 2 weeks ago, and I don't think Syracuse is going to be able to do too much different this time around. I mean, what they're going to want to do, obviously, is speed up the game because they went into that half-court mode with Louisville, and Louisville ate them up. And let's tell it like it is. Louisville didn't do anything spectacular. The only spectacular thing they did was limit Syracuse to 11 free throws, which is pretty good considering Syracuse was the home team. So to only get them to the line that few times tells me a lot about that game. But the bottom line is Louisville only shot 40% from the field, 43%. They only shot 30% from the three-point line. So all these are just season averages. It's not like they went into Syracuse, shot 55% from the field, 53% from the three-point line, and there's no way to recover.
They didn't play their game of the year.
No, they played their normal game. They were able to slow down Syracuse, make Syracuse play their type of game, not go up and down the court, limit the possessions, and make them each possession important, and we saw Syracuse wasn't able to get it done down in the end, and Louisville got the win. I think they're going to be able to keep it close again, Marco. You know, I see no reason why they won't be able to do that as long as they dictate the tempo. And by that, I mean keep the game slow because they don't play good defense. And when you're running up and down the court and you're playing a wild style of ball, it's even more difficult to play defense. But at least when you're in a half-court set, you have time to set up. You have time to, run a couple defensive plays. And I think when you're weak on defense, that's something you definitely need. So I think a lot falls, to Syracuse with the revenge side. And I'm hoping that's why we get some line value here. But again, I think that Syracuse gets that L. They're perfect on the road this year, 8-0, but I don't think they go into the tournament undefeated on the road.
Well, a couple points for me. First off, to me, this game is very similar to the Kansas-Missouri game that we talked about earlier. Syracuse is number one. They're going to be a number one seed no matter what happens. Big East tournament, they got the Big East, locked already. Other than maintaining that number one ranking, Syracuse only has the revenge factor. That's the real motivation to this game is, having, if it was their only loss of the season.
Right.
I think I would put more emphasis on that.
Me too.
But they did have two.
It's exactly. And what, you're going to revenge the one and not the other?
Yeah.
You still lost.
So that doesn't bother me. The fact that Louisville come off their worst game of the year, earlier this year, they had a bad game. They lost at St. John's 74-55. So a similar bad game score-wise, being held to a low point total. They followed that bad performance
by beating this team.
Syracuse. So you could have deja vu here. And finally, this part will not make sense when I say it, but you'll know what I'm saying. If the line comes closer to what you think, it's going to give you more points with Louisville. But I mentally...
You'd be more worried on the Louisville side.
Because if Louisville gets 4 in this
game... They'll be more balanced at the books.
Louisville can lose and cover. I want people to look at this game and look at this line and just say...
It's a lock. Yeah.
Pick the winner.
It's a lock.
Syracuse and revenge. And if the line's 2.5 at most... We're in that. Just pick the winner.
Win the game. Yeah. I honestly, I don't mind either way. I'll tell you the truth. Regardless of how I created my true line for this game or a fair line for this game, the bottom line is I went in thinking if I'm going to be able to get points, I'm taking Louisville here. Yeah. I like the situation. I like the way they match up, and I'm willing to lose line value to gain. That handicapping value, that situational value. And I really think we have it. Louisville's, I think they're, if not a bubble team, a team that has to look good in the Big East tournament. And no, you ain't going to look any better than beating the team that's ranked number one right now. So they
twice.
Exactly. That should get you an automatic bid. So, I mean, this is as I hate using the word must win because usually you pay a premium for must wins, but because of the situation,
public perception is not going to view
exactly,
it that way.
And we're not going to have to pay for that must win premium. And I think that's where we gain that extra value that I'm willing to pass up as far as not getting as many points as I'd love to get.
I guarantee you, I can see Saturday morning. I can see the guys all around the country with their schedule book. They're writing the lines down. As soon as they see Syracuse in a pick-the-winner situation and the revenge, they're going to circle Syracuse.
And Kansas won, so they have to win or keep number one.
And they'll say that what's the chances that Syracuse can lose twice
to this team? Yeah,
ain't going to happen. Not a team that played.
And we don't have to lay a lot of points.
That's just what their mindset's going to be. And I got to agree with you. It's your official free pick.
Yes, it is.
You've got
grab Louisville plus the points. Don't matter what it is, as long as they're getting points, whether it's +1 or higher. I'm making a play on Louisville,
and I'm going to give you an official lean towards Louisville. I agree with VR. Good stuff. Go to pregame.tv and you can make a prediction on this game. You tell us what you think the score is going to be. If you guess the score correctly, we will give you $100 in pregame dollars. They're yours to spend however you want. Use any of the pros here. This guy sitting next to me is not a bad guy to spend the money on. Vegas Runner still ranked number 1 at the Sports Monitor. You can check him out. Of course, you can check out, me with my plays heading into tonight's action. I'm 8-1 with my massacre
games. And you got a big one tonight.
We're taping on Thursday, so most people it'll be gone. So hopefully we cashed a winner. That's been this week's show. I hope you enjoyed it. We'll be back next week. We'll have R.J. Bell in the chair next week with us.
Or we may not.
Who knows? We'll see. He's Vegas Runner. I'm Marco D'Angelo. Have a great week. We'll talk to you next week.